Welcome to today's Yoga for Flexibility, everyone. So like I said, you're going to want a block or something you can use as a block today, hardcover book. We will be doing a supported fish at the end. And I'm placing my block by my feet to start off with. You'll see why shortly. So let's get ourselves started here in Shavasana. And as we start breathing nice and deep, our palms are up, our eyes are closed. We're taking a big purifying inhale. And as we exhale, we're telling ourselves to melt even deeper in towards the mat. Give me one more big, slow breath just like this. When you're ready, we're going to pull both knees into your chest. I'm just going to create a little rocking side to side. So we're massaging out that lower back. You can have the knees together or spread apart. It's really up to you. Nice little rock here. I'm going to draw some circles with my lower back again. This is just an option. Just again, I'm massaging out that lower back. Whatever feels good for your body today, that's what you're going to do. Switch directions, making sure we're not going into any pain or strain on any joint or muscle. The inside of my ankles here, so go right inside those ankles, let the knees fall apart. I'm just going to pull one heel towards me and then the other, just kind of alternating at my own pace here. Nice little inner thigh stretch. I'm creating a little rocking in my body, so that's okay if you're moving. All right, let's come to stillness. I'm gonna grab either below my shins or my knees. I'm just gonna start rocking up and down. Give me a few rocks and rolls. Give me one or two more, then we're gonna come all the way to a nice seated position. I'm gonna cross my ankles. I'm gonna stand up into a nice forward fold here. So keep those knees nice and soft. For those just joining us, we will want a block or a book or something we can use. And I've got mine right here by the base of my mat. Letting those knees be soft here as I do a little swaying side to side. I'm going to inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back. Just stay here for a second. So really let those hands come to the shins, pulling the shoulder blades down, just lengthening with the crown of the head, pulling it away from the tailbone. Try straightening out your legs just a little bit more, or maybe putting a little more weight in those toes, getting a bit of a deeper stretch here in the hamstring. Give me one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to fold forward. This is where you may want your block. I'm going to bring my left hand to the center of my block, or you can bring it to the center on the ground in front of you. And as I inhale, I'm going to sweep the right arm up towards the right side, bending the left knee, letting my body twist here. Nice little fan pose here. Maybe bringing your gaze up to those right fingertips. As you exhale, twisting a little bit more, trying to pull that shoulder, that hand behind your back. Last breath here. Bring the right hand down on that next exhale. Take a nice big inhale here, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. So I'm going to place the right hand either on the block or on the ground in the center between my feet. Take a nice big inhale to lengthen. As I exhale, I'm going to twist the left arm up and over, bending the right knee, keeping that left leg straight as I twist and look over the left shoulder this time. Good. Focus on twisting. Your arm should be a nice T in this fan pose, spreading the fingers wide. Give me one last big breath here. Good. Bring the hand back down. Just let yourself hang out here in a forward fold, trying to straighten the legs. Get a little deeper here. I'm going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. I'm going to grab my blocks off my knees as I inhale. I'm going to come all the way up. I'm going to bring my block with me. Then exhale, just bring the hands back down. I'm just going to turn around. Most of us are facing the wrong way. And I'm going to step to the base of my mat and bring my block with me. That way I have it at the end when I need it. We don't need it till the end though. So just finding some balance here, spreading the toes. Maybe you want to lift all the toes up, placing each individually down one at a time, spreading them. Bring our palms forward here for a nice Tadasana. Maybe closing your eyes, just seeing how your balance is here. Preparing yourself for our first flow. Good. Let's open our eyes as we inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, I'm going to plant the hands and just the left foot goes back. Nice little lunge position here. Then I'm going to walk my right foot all the way to the outside edge of my mat here. So I've got a nice wide lunge, lengthening out through the neck. You can always drop that back left knee if you need to, because we're all going to in a second anyways. You can always come a little lower by bringing your hands out in front of you, or even using that block, if you so choose. Then we're all going to drop that back left knee, maybe walking it a little farther back. Always fold that mat over if you need a little extra cushion. I'm really going to lift my chest here for a nice lizard pose, sinking those hips forward, opening up that back hip flexor. Give me one more breath just like this. Making sure my left hand is right under my left shoulder. I'm going to take a nice big inhale. I'm twisting again over to the right side, lifting that right arm. Nice twist in my lizard. You can stay here. If you want to go deeper into the stretch, you can bring the right hand behind you, bringing the right hand over into the left waist, palm facing behind you, and still focus on twisting over, looking over that right shoulder, going a little deeper as we sink into that lizard. Just opening up the shoulder a little deeper. Kind of got some midi binds for us today. Maybe one more big breath here. Good. If you got the arm behind you, let's bring it back in front, and we're keeping our leg nice and wide. Again, if you've got that hamstring flexibility, you can use the block. Otherwise, we're just going to walk our hands back towards our knees, straightening the right leg, flipping the left or the right toe here for a nice half split. You can always come to your hands on your waist. I know I can just grace my mat with a nice flat back. Or you can have a block. But making sure we're not hinging down. You want to inhale, lengthen it up. As you exhale, sink a little deeper into that hip, that hamstring. You can also do a little rocking side to side here. I think this feels so juicy in that hamstring. Or you can find some stillness here as we hold this nice little stretch. Give me one more big deep breath here. I want you to melt for your last exhale. We're going to walk our hands back through to the center of my mat. I'm going to lift the left knee. I'm going to bend it a little bit, and I'm going to step that left foot nice and wide here into a bit of a wider forward fold as I lift the hips, drop the head. You're going to clasp your fingers and just bring it to the back, base of your head, base of your neck. You're not pulling, but you're just adding that weight. Letting your hamstrings open a little bit, letting the back release slightly. Try and keep those legs nice and straight here. We breathe right into the back of those hamstrings. Good. Release the hands. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Soften the knees as we inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale through heart center. I'm just going to heel toe my feet back to center just underneath me. We're going to do a little balance here in awkward pose. I'm just going to move back a little bit so I don't get cut off. So I'm going to inhale, bring my arms out shoulder height, palms face down. Pull those shoulders down. When you're ready, you're going to lift the heels up. Coming up as high as you can, wearing your tallest, highest heels right here. Trying to balance. Maybe focusing on a point. If you want to go deeper, you can start bending the knees. Now keeping the back nice and straight, pretending you're sliding down a wall, the knees come forward. Going down slowly and gently until you get where you want to go. The bottom's the easiest part, so you can have a little rest there. If you want to get all the way down, keep those heels up. And then slowly, wherever you are, we're going to rise. Slow, slow, slow. That's it. Lift those heels. If you fall out of it, just come back to it. One last breath here. Good. Release the hands, release the heels. All right, let's do our other side in our lizard and half split. As we inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhaling, falling forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands this time. Right foot steps back, starting in that lunge position. Good. Again, you can always drop that back knee just to start off with, getting that nice scissoring of the legs, lengthen out through the crown. Good. I'm going to bring my left hand on the inside as I walk my right foot to the outside here. Just do a little scissoring here, open up the hips. And everybody can drop that back knee, but maybe walk that knee a little farther back than it wants to be to get that nice lizard pose. Remember, you can always flip the mat or use something for extra cushion here. Getting that nice lizard pose, just sinking the hips down. Just seeing how this side feels compared to the other side. Sink it down, push those hips, feel the right hip flexor this time. And this time, if you've got to adjust your hands, make sure the right hand is right under the right shoulder. And take a nice big inhale, lengthen out through the crown. As I exhale, I'm going to twist the left arm to the left side. Nice T position. Opening up, gaze comes to the left hand. Or you can choose a half bind here, where we bring the left arm behind the back, right into the left or the right waist, palm faces behind. Really still twisting, opening up, pressing through that right hand. Good, sinking nice and deep. One more big, deep breath, just like this. Good. If you got the arm down, release the arm. Bring it back down. Just lengthen it up here again. You can use your block as we go into half hand in Navasana, half splits. Walking the hands back towards the right leg, straightening the left leg, flipping up the toe. Again, your hands come to your hips or a block or the ground with a nice flat back. Our goal is to sink that chest down, nice forward fold as we add that little momentum side to side, deepening the stretch, maybe finding a point that's a little more tight that needs that extra stretch. Focus on lengthening out through the spine as you inhale. Focus on exhaling, sinking deeper. Good. Give me one more big inhale here. Good. I'm going to walk my hands back almost into that lizard pose. Bending the left knee, putting the foot down, lift the right knee. I'm going to step it back nice and wide to meet your hands and your foot. But this time, I'm going to sink myself down into Malasana. So for those who aren't familiar with Malasana, I'm literally just bending the knees, bending the hips, keeping the feet on the ground. You can also pigeon toe your feet if you want a little bit. If you're up here, you're up here. Just keep those heels on the ground. If you can balance, you can bring your arms up, maybe bring them to prayer, maybe focus on lengthening out. We definitely start pigeon, really crouch down. We want to slowly work on lifting the chin and chest. I think I said pigeon. Ryan corrected me. We're in Malasana. pressing those palms together, letting the arms fall. Maybe one last breath wherever you are. Rooting down through the feet, let's stand, coming all the way to rise. Everybody can bring their palms together. For one big inhale, one big slow exhale. Good, release the hands, grab a quick drink. All right, we have one more standing flow. Then we're gonna work on the ground a little bit more. Although our lizard is a little low to the ground. So when you're ready, join me at the top of your mat. Nice little Tadasana. Relaxing those shoulders. And we're gonna do a full flow till our downward dog. So just come with me, or you can meet us in downward dog as we inhale, lift the arms up. Exhaling, folding over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's plant the hands, step it back into plank. You can find your plank and you can always modify here. Just hold in plank because we can. Nice big inhale here. As you exhale, lower down through chaturanga, elbows tight. Inhaling, pressing up dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Just in your first dog, try and pull those heels down towards the ground, lifting up the hips. Pressing through each little fingertip here, making contact. Maybe one more big inhale here. Nice exhale. When you're ready on your inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. And then we're going to plant it between our hands. We're going to windmill ourselves open up to warrior 2. Pivoting the back foot, 90 degrees. Hands come to that nice T position. Making sure we're not leaning too far forward. We're going to pull ourselves up. Nice and tall, fingers reach away from each other. As we exhale, we sink a little deeper into that lunge. Good. This time I'm going to bring my right arm to my right thigh, lift the left arm up overhead. So we're all going to modify here. So just bear with me. So you can stay here, or if you want, you can start to try and bind here. I'm just going to turn so you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is my left arm is going to come down, reaching towards my right glute. I'm going to hinge over a little bit more so that my right hand comes underneath, and the goal is to grab. So this is going to be intense on your shoulders, even if you can't grab. Try and just be in this bind, getting the nice shoulder stretch. I find I like my right palms to face my body, my left hand to face away. And again, I'll show you that. So I'm going to bring my right palm underneath, getting my shoulders close to my knee as I can, and then hooking up. You can stay here and just do the top arm if you want. We'll just take one more big breath here. Let's all unbind, come back up, warrior 2. Give those shoulders a little shake out. Bring that gaze to that middle finger just for 2 breaths. Good. Straighten the right leg, flip the toes so they're on a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to lift the left toe so they're also on a 45-degree angle. So we exhale, sink down into that goddess pose. We're going to bring our arms to cactus just to start off here. Relaxing. We're going to dance here a little in our goddess. It's almost like I'm lunging side to side, but making sure our toes and knees are always going in the same direction. And as I dance, I'm trying to get lower and lower, sinking those hips right down towards the ground. That's it. Good. Find some stillness here in your nice low goddess. Make sure we keep those legs pulled out. And let's straighten the legs. Flip the right toes to face the front, left toes face the left as we lunge back into our warrior 2 for 2 breaths. Last breath here. Then let's windmill our hands down, step back into downward dog. Remembering you can always stay in your down dog, modify your flow, or come with me. When you're ready, as you inhale, come towards plank. Exhaling down to chaturanga, flat back. We inhale, press up with strong shoulders. Exhaling that down dog. Give me one more breath here. When you're ready, inhale, just lift the left heel up. Then we're going to step it between our hands. We're going to open up to a nice warrior two, left lead. Again, find your warrior two. Right toes face the right, left toes face forward. Gaze comes to those left middle fingers. So we melt a little bit deeper into this warrior two. Just breathe here. Find your focus. Let your gaze soften. Pressing through the outside edge of that right foot here. It's going to side angle modified on the left side. So bring the left arm to the left leg. Sweep the right arm up overhead. So just find your lunge here. So we're going to bring the right hand behind us. And we can try to bind underneath. All right, so my right palm faces out. I'm going to sink a little lower here. Trying to bring my hands together behind me into this bind. Still pressing through the outside edges of all four corners of both feet. Remembering you can just stay here if this suits you better. Just focusing on that top shoulder. Give me one last breath like this. And we're all going to reach the right arm up. Come up overhead, back into our warrior two. That's it. Good. I'm just going to flip to face you. And I'm going to lift my toes, both back on those 45 degrees, sink into that goddess. Hands on your hip, and then let them slide down onto your inner thighs. We're not shrugging in the shoulders. We're strong. And I'm just going to press my right shoulder to my left knee, and then up. We're just going to rotate. Come to my other classes. I love this stretch here. So I'm really keeping that right arm straight as I push. So I'm stretching out that inner thigh, as well as my upper back, letting my gaze go over that opposite shoulder. Do one more of each. Good. Coming back up, straighten the legs. Let's come back into warrior two. Left toes forward, right toes face the right side as we lunge here. 2 breaths, and then we get to flow. Last breath. And let's windmill our hands down, framing that left foot, step it back, downward facing dog. Remember, you can always stay here, modify or come with me as we inhale towards plank. Exhaling down chaturanga, nice and strong. Inhaling, pressing up, lift the chin. Exhale, downward facing dog. Everybody gets 2 breaths here, and then we'll get a water break. Take some nice deep breaths here. Find that nice long dog. When you're ready, drop to those knees. You can grab your water. All right, so we'll be on the ground for the rest of our practice. So depending on the space you have in your home, I'm gonna face side because it's easier for me. With my camera angle, you may want to face forward or face the side, but we're gonna come into a nice wide forward fold. I just have my heels off the ground, so most of my leg is still on my mat. Doesn't matter if your legs are not on the mat. So when you're ready, find yourself in this nice position, sitting up nice and tall, opening up the legs just as wide as you can go here. You may find yourself leaning forward, but start sitting upright or having the hips and shoulders in line. When you're ready, let's take a nice big inhale here. Exhaling, folding forward. You can let your head go. You can try and walk your fingers forward, but this should really intensify that stretch on the inner thighs and hamstrings. Let's create some rocking side to side here. Still keeping both sit bones on the mat. We're just putting a little more pressure on one side than the other, trying to get ourselves even lower in this forward fold. Making sure we're not rounding down. Keep that nice long spine. That's it. And let's find some stillness again. Just for one breath. I'm going to walk my hands over to the right side, turning my chest. And I'm still folding now towards my legs. See how this intensifies the stretch. Flex the feet if they've lost that stretch. Exhale, sink a little deeper. If you want, you can try and reach for those toes. Or maybe just grab the shin, the calf. Exhale, folding a little farther forward, keeping that left glute down. Good. And do a little twist and stretch. So I'm going to take my right hand, thread it underneath the left hand, so it's going all the way over to the opposite shoulder, palm up. I'm going to sweep the right arm up overhead. Our goal is to try and get to that toe, but we're not collapsing down. We're lifting the armpit towards the sky. Nice little twisted stretch here as we stretch out the entire left side of the body. Good. Just one more breath just like this. Inhaling, coming back up, both arms. Exhaling, folding over. Good. Again, walk the hands out nice and long. Just seeing where they fall. Just find some stillness here. Good. One more breath just like this. Let's go over to our left side. So walk your hands over to your left side. Sinking a little deeper as you exhale. Maybe grabbing your toes. Maybe just grabbing your shins. Again, focus on pressing that right hip to the ground. Still trying to lengthen out here, so we're really stretching the hamstring, not in the back. Good. So I'm gonna, with my hands on either side of my shin, I'm gonna take my left hand and I'm gonna slide it underneath the right armpit, palm facing up, reaching all the way to those opposite toes, and then I'm gonna sweep the right arm up overhead. Trying to get your forearm to the ground, and again, trying to get those toes as you keep the gaze up towards the sky and the armpit towards the sky. Focus on that right hip down towards the ground. And again, just go as deep as your body wants. It doesn't matter if the right side did more or less. Just listen to that body. One last breath. Inhale, bringing the arms behind you. I'm just going to sweep my arms behind you. I'm going to bend my knees, bring the soles of the feet together. And it's okay if your flat palm can't come down. You can come up on your fingertips, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe walking your hips a little closer here, so we're sitting up nice and tall in this Baddha Konasana. Give me one more breath just like this. Good. And you can bring your arms towards your legs or your hands towards your feet and hinge over just a little bit. You can also use your weight, your arms, to press open those legs. You're really flexible, you want to go deeper, you can use your hands to open your feet like a book, like you're trying to read the soles of your feet. Just taking a few breaths here. Give me one last breath. Good. Let's bring the knees together. Let's grab one more drink because we're going to head down to the ground. So you will need your block, so just make sure it's handy. And you're just going to slide yourself so you're in the proper direction. So my feet are at the base of my mat, my head's going to end up at the top of my mat. So we're all going to sit up nice and tall. We're just going to do a quick little Navasana boat pose for our core. Remembering you could always modify. So take a nice big inhale, lengthen the spine. I'm going to start by just lifting the legs up. Option 1. Option 2, release the legs. Option 3, straighten them for just 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lower everything down for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Letting the head and feet come down, just setting yourself up here in a nice long position. Maybe giving yourself a little wiggle. I'm going to bend my knees, bring the feet mat width apart, give myself a little windshield wiper out. Or if there's anything else your body needs right now, but my back needs a little release. Alright. So bring the knees back up to center. We're going to do a happy baby, and then we'll go into our supported fish, which we'll finish our practice off on. So on your next inhale, let's pull both knees in towards the armpits, so the respective armpits, pulling them nice and deep. Option 1 is to grab underneath those knee pits. Option 2 is to grab the outside edge of the feet. Either way, you want the soles of the feet to come to the sky. Letting the knees fall apart. If you really want to go deeper, notice how our tailbone turns up. You can also focus on trying to tuck that tailbone, push it out, almost like you're trying to stick your butt out. Feel how that active stretch changes and gets deeper. Just breathe into this. Slowing your breath pace down here. This should feel good. Just letting everything open up and release. Keeping the shoulders on the mat. Give me one last breath here. Good. I'm going to release my feet slowly back down. This is where we're going to need our block. So I'm going to take my block. I'm going to come up onto my forearms. So notice how my elbows are below my shoulders. I'm just going to tuck my chin just to protect my neck as I go into it. Stay where you are. I'm just going to show you. You're going to want to place your block right between your shoulders but below your neck. Okay? So you're just going to place your block. You may have to adjust it a little bit. Keeping the chin tucked, you can even use your hands to support. You're going to let your head fall slowly over your block so the top of your head comes to your mat. If you've got a high ponytail like me, that's okay if your hair comes to the mat. But as you let your head come to the mat, let the chin and neck open up. Let yourself lengthen here. And then we're going to bring our arms back to that cactus, that 90 degrees at the armpits, 90 degrees at the elbows. Feel free to adjust if you need to. Palms face up. Just feel this intense chest stretch. Give me one big deep breath here. Try to let those palms fall towards the ground if you can. And if you want to go deeper, so yes, it can be whatever you want for support. I'm going to start to bring my fingers together overhead and start bringing the elbows down here, making my little snow angels. As I let my chest release and stretch. If you find a particular spot that's really sore, you're like, oh, my hands or elbows can't be on the ground, you can always hold that just to release a little bit more. That's it. Nice big breaths here. And now if you're still moving, find a spot that calls to you that you need to hold for 2 more big, slow, deep breaths. Last big deep breath here. I'm going to bring my arms back down, bringing my elbows towards the ground, forearms to the ground. I'm going to lift my head, tuck my chin, just walk my elbows up underneath me so I can just remove my block. You can put it off to the side. And we're just going to come into a final relaxed Shavasana here. So since we're in Shavasana, let's a little modification here. I want you to start just rolling your ankles. If you can do your wrists at the same time, you can bring them up. Just pick a direction, start rolling them one way, and then the other way. Alright. right, letting all that energy go, letting yourself relax. I want you to find some stillness here. So make any modifications you need to, whether it's tucking your shoulders underneath, scratching an itch. I want you to focus on just coming back to that breath in your mind's thought. And coming back to your thoughts of your body at the beginning. So whether you had any pain or stress or any tension, tightness in your body, just see how it's feeling now. And I know some of you relate. So just kind of notice how your body's feeling. Starting at the feet, the toes, working your way up. Sending some breath to each area of your body. Just enjoying this moment to yourselves. And even just notice how your palms are. I always tend to have my fingers quite curled up. Just doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just take notice how your fingers want to naturally lie here in our Shavasana, whether they're spread or curled. Just know we have our palms facing up in Shavasana because this is us getting ready to receive energy and light to help us, not just with our practice, but our day-to-day lives. So when you're ready, I'm going to inhale, lift the right arm up overhead. I'm going to roll onto the right side body. Cradling the ear and the bicep, pressing the palm into the earth, just as a little connection piece here. Good, and when you're ready, you're going to slowly push yourself up into a nice seated position. So I'm choosing my knees, so that's just my preferred way to finish my practice, but you can be seated cross-legged or have your legs out. Wherever you are, I want you to find a nice long spine, relaxing the shoulders, and have your palms now facing down towards your body. And either having your eyes closed or downcasted. Just focusing on sending your body some energy, especially if you're still feeling a little tightness anywhere. Breathing in to where your palms make a connection to your body. Thanking yourself for this practice, this time. Reminding yourself it's okay, we are not perfect. Yoga is a practice and a journey. We're not here for perfection. Just also thanking ourselves for helping us connect with our breath and hopefully feel a little calmer for the rest of our day, a little more relaxed. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to prayer, heart center, thumbs connect. Again, eyes closed or downcasted. Thanking you and your fellow yogis for sharing in this practice and your energies from the light of me to the light in you. Namaste. So please continue to move slowly, guys, as you get up. Get some more water, but enjoy the rest of your day. Feeling a little bit more light and energized, I hope. Have a good one.